Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finals of the Summit 2 by G2A.com. It's Vici Gaming versus Cloud9, best of 5. A lot at stake here, $134,000 in prize money to the winner of this series, Vici Gaming. Well, they're the lone representative that made it here from Asia, first departure, unable to attend due to some issues with military service, but Vici Gaming, they had a shaky group stage. They went 3-2. They almost didn't make it here in the grand finals for the China qualifier. They started off 0-2. They bounced back, reverse all killed LGD Gaming, and now they've fought their way after an incredibly back-and-forth series between Secret yesterday. Took that one 3-2 and made it to today. This is the big dance. On the other corner, we of course have Cloud9. Cloud9, well, they were a team that many people didn't really give a chance to win. They're known for being the team that always gets close, never quite delivers, second place, pretty much always bridesmaid, not a bride, but they're here to change it. They've gotten the monkey off their back. They finally took down EG in a major LAN elimination match. It was a close one. They almost lost that game 5 in the end. Eternal Envy, a few misplays, but he came through big with his Faceless Void, and here we are. Cloud9 looking for their first major championship. Vici Gaming had some strong words in the interview yesterday. FY, he basically said that he doesn't think they know how to win in big games, and, well, we're going to see if that's the case. Cloud9 will look to prove him wrong here, and, of course, with all that out of the way, the stage is now set. I'm LD. I'm joined here by n0tail from Team Secret, and, of course, the one and only Merlini. Guys, how you doing? You sound very relaxed.
I am pretty relaxed. It's been a pretty long morning. Didn't get too much sleep, and still, though, been a good morning.
Well, we're glad you could make it. Apparently your legendary observer skills, you really want to put them to the test later, so...
You mean, there's got to be one camera work by Big Daddy at every BTS, right?
Well, see, that's why we have 2 observers now, because you did such a good job that we are like, we don't have one person who can do an equally good job, so we'll just get 2 people to do your job.
Yeah,
But, I mean
you still miss kills with 2 observers.
Hey, we were trying to be a little too cute, but that's okay. We'll probably get you in there later, but for now you're going to be casting with the 2 of us, of course, and... What are your thoughts coming into this match? You guys had a really hard-fought series with Vici Gaming. It was probably a painful loss for you all, but you were very close to taking them down. So looking at how Cloud9 matches up against them, what are some of your keys to the match?
I think this match will develop a lot throughout the series. I think regardless of who's going to win the first one, I think there's going to be a lot of adaptation. I think this is actually a tournament where you might see... a lot of draft change compared to other tournaments, because we've seen that with especially Cloud9. They don't mind just changing up the 2 first picks to completely different style and completely different heroes. But Vici has been a team that adjusts completely. They actually didn't come here, as far as I know, with any kind of strategy or game style, and they started learning from other teams. They started playing Ogres and Shakiros you hadn't seen much of. But of course, they've gone back to their Sand King, Skyraz, and Terrorblades, but still, I think there's going to be a lot of adjustment in this series, so I think that's what I'm going to be looking for.
Who do you think gained more out of the group stage match?
I think the confidence C9 gained from beating EG, they have, struggled so much against them, could be the thing they actually need to bring home a finals. I personally root for C9 because they've feel like they deserve it by now to take home a grand finals, but Vici is still a good team, and they learn. Like that's the thing. Veteran players. I think FY is an amazing captain, and I think he gained a lot from not just the group stages, but every game pretty much that they played.
Absolutely. And, well, with that said, do we have predictions for this series? A lot of adaptation back and forth. Who do you think is going to make the better adjustments overall? Who comes out on top here?
Well, I think Anna hopes C9 wins, but I still would put my money on a 5-game series.
Okay, so you think very close, 3-2.
Yeah.
And you'd lean towards C9.
Yeah.
I said, Vici's definitely a favorite. I would say they're far more experienced. They just have more sound strats, better execution, and don't choke as much as C9 does, but I'll also give it to C9 3-2. I think they really want it, and they've been playing exceptionally well.
They have to be hungry at this point. And, guys, with that said, the draft is underway. You can hear the bands and picks.
What about you?
In your ears. I'll make my prediction as we hop into the draft. Bam!
You always try and sneak out of it.
I gotta say, Vici Gaming, I think pretty much like along the lines of you, just feel a little bit more solid. Even though Cloud9 did beat EG, That game 5, man, I don't think you get away with that against Vici Gaming if they're playing their A game. EG seemed a little bit out of sorts at times. They almost came back from, what was it, like a 30k goal deficit to win that one. So I think you have to play a lot more polished. Vici Gaming seemed like one of the best teams at just closing a game out when they get an early lead. So
I think C9 is a team that can get very excited by small things and maybe frustrated by others. One thing was the pause. After a pause.
Something else? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the grand finals of the Summit 2. The draft for Game 1 had begun, and we're going to get back into it in just a second. But you were saying you think Cloud9, a team that can get really excited about little things, Johan, but also can sometimes just get really tilted by them as well.
Yeah. From what we saw in the 5th game, EG-C9, it was definitely C9's game to dominate if they didn't do mistakes. But what caused mistakes, I think, was one, the repelled unit, which apparently caused the tower to have backdoor protection.
And it was like driving, even after the match, even after they'd won, it was like driving AUI insane. We had him on the couch. I think he ended up casting a bit. Oh, no, it was Eternal Envy, and he just couldn't get it out of his head. It was like
the thing
really
is,
eating away at him.
It's multiple things. They chose to take off aggro off the heroes. Even if you have this creep that, you know, is going to have a corpse and there's not going to be backdoor protection for 14 seconds, you just tank it with a goddamn hero, you know?
Yeah, it's like 50 minutes into the game.
And that was the one thing. The other thing was the pause, which caused them to jump into the base. And I think C9, they can get really excited and tilted.
That was a pretty nice draft, but we decided that you guys would rather look at Sunsfan and Bruno just relaxing in the tub. Are we ever going to get a tub interview out of you?
Out of me?
Yeah.
Well, when redemption vote comes and we fuck up the online qualifier, that's when I'll sell my tub interview to the community.
Maybe we'll get a real hot tub for next time.
Never do what you're good at for free.
Yes. People would pay a lot of money for that, I think. So, well, we'll see.
Speaking of which, redemption vote backfiring.
Yeah, for EG. I asked them how they felt, and they didn't seem that upset about it. I think they mostly said, you know what, we should have played better. That's on us.
There's nothing to be upset about. Like, if you bring any team there and you still want to be the best, you're gonna be more upset, and you only have yourself to blame that you didn't bring your A game.
If you're a proper competitor, for sure.
Yeah.
So okay, let's get into this draft. What are you seeing so far? We had a first overall pick, Venge. Quick reply, Elder Titan Jakiro. You mentioned the Ogre Magi is a high priority support. He was banned out.
The Skywrath and Ogre Magi is the highest priority supports for Vici. They will pick one of the two up in the first two as soon as they get the chance.
Why is that? It's just because they're so good at roaming and pressuring early?
They enable Fenrir, and Fenrir enables the team very well. And these are supports that they rely on to shut down the offlaner and make good rotations. And they do it very successfully. Jakiro, he's not a good ganker. He's a pretty good zoner, but both Skywrath and Ogre are better at zoning and better at ganking than Jakiro. Jakiro's a different kind of hero.
What about the Venge that a lot of teams would
The
turn
Venge
to?
they don't value as high, but they still play it. For C9, like Venge is actually one of their best heroes. It's one of the best heroes for Pilot Die and generally their playstyle. It buffs Envy. It's great to die on Venge, and it's, you know, you swap someone in.
And Pilot Die is great at dying.
He's going to swap himself in and swap someone out. So he's not only is just going to die, he's going to save someone in the process. It's a great hero for C9, and it's actually something you don't want to give to them.
So, are we looking at a potential Drow Visage here, do you think?
I am actually surprised that Vici didn't ban out. They're very traumatized, I dare to say, of the Drow Ranger. They lost to it twice this tournament, and they lost in... what do you call it? Great fashion. Or
Like
they
20
got
minute
wrecked, basically.
They got wrecked.
Yeah.
But Lycan, great hero against Drow. Get up close to that Drow Ranger, remove that aura or that ultimate. Omni Knight, interesting. This is
Normally when we've seen Omni Knight, it's a 5th pick.
Cloud9 definitely picks it a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Cloud9 can pick it earlier. Vici would pick it later, and EG would also usually pick it 5th or 4th later in the draft if they go with it. But we've seen them run the Omni Batrider duo before. Personally, I like it a lot, and I think they actually started doing well with Omni Knight. Omni Knight's all about the team. It's actually, you can have the best Omni Knight player, but if the 4 guys don't understand Omni Knight, there's no point picking him. Even though you have the greatest Omni Knight player in the world, it makes no sense to pick him if you don't understand him.
It's like a silencer, for
as a team.
example.
Exactly. If you don't understand the silence is coming, why do you pick the hero?
Look at that, the FY Rubik. This
Rubik,
is
best hero against Omni Knight, so...
what makes
Vici-
him so good. Just stealing GA, stealing
Just
any of his
stealing,
spells, really.
repel, and GA,
Okay.
pretty much. And you pick Omni Knight for those spells. You
Yeah.
don't pick Omni Knight for other reasons. Rubik, great hero against it.
C9 will transition into a
Vici
PA,
Gaming's
obviously
turn
very
to
good
ban.
against physical damage dealers, which they mainly just have the Lycan for right
Great
now.
against Lycan.
Yeah.
The thing about the minions is you can't buy MKB for them, so the evasion's always going to be relevant.
That's a good point.
But also having the Omni Knight PA combination, so it's not just a good hero against the enemy, but it's a
5
good
seconds
hero with
remaining.
your own team.
Now, I forget. I'm trying to remember who it was, but
Reserve
to deal with
flag.
Omni Knight,
10
oftentimes we see
seconds
teams will just
remaining.
build a Diffusal Blade, but none of these heroes are really like a natural Diffusal Blade carrier.
We've seen so many Lincoln Spheres to counter Diffusal Blades. Like, sometimes
We
even
never
two,
saw
three.
the Aghanim Shadow Demon, which recently got a buff.
The Shadow
Yeah.
Demons have gotten owned
Is
this
that
tournament.
is that legit? I
Vici
think I've seen it
Gaming's
once and it
turn
didn't
to
go
pick.
very well.
It's not legit to have a 4 or 5th support Shadow Demon and rely on this as the Omni Knight counter, but there will be a day when core Shadow Demon will return, I think, and that's when you're going to see an Aghanim's Disruptor.
The poison does a lot of damage now with the buffs.
Oh,
What is it,
it
like
does.
upwards of 1,000? What if you get the full?
Yeah, if
stacks
you
up?
get the full stacks, 5 stacks, it's like 1,050, I think I did the math on.
That's pretty.
I saw
ridiculous.
Demon Sand King. He was
seconds
sitting there,
remaining.
Sandstorm, and the Shadow Demon was just casting on him, and he waited until 5 stacks, and then he ran away,
And
and
he
he
just
just
popped.
died.
Or maybe
Classic
thinking
Jimmy.
with the
So-
Soul Catcher, but I'm not entirely sure, but it's a lot of damage
Oh,
for
sure.
sure.
Well, we're gonna take another look at these picks now, and it's the Broodmother coming out.
Cloud9 has like
God.
such poor anti-push. I was thinking about that even before the Broodmother pick. It's like,
They've
well,
done
they just
this
have-
in several games where they just bust out this Broodmother very late in the draft.
I think, honestly, there is no issue in banning Razor, because when you actually play PA Omni against a Razor, it's terrible for you. Every time you want to dagger or blink strike the Razor, you're just going to perch off the repel. So you kind of have to get rid of it. But this Broodmother pick together with Lycan, I haven't actually seen this in Dota 2, I think. This is the thing I feared when when Broodmother hit Captain's Bone.
It used to
5
be like
seconds
you'd see
remaining.
just mass summon armies with Lycan, but it's been a while.
There's no one like Broodmother. There's no one like Broodmother with Lycan. This combination, especially with a good Broodmother player, if they can make use of the Howl early game, you saw that game where Pilot Eye actually played Bench against Vici,
Yeah.
and he had a hard game.
Well, it
Now,
looks like he's gonna have another.
5 Spiderlings with Howl. That makes it just so much harder. Like, this
What
is-
do you do at this point?
Well, Fada doesn't really play the anti-Brood heroes, right? He usually plays like Brew, Mag, Puck a ton. He doesn't really play like the solo mid axe like we see some other teams run. BBC runs it. I still feel like they need a lot of anti-Brood or anti-push.
I think Batrider Omni Knight is pretty good. The one problem though is that the 2 supports are picked, and I would want to put the PA mid now, somehow, make it work. Centaur, they might put the Centaur short. It's funny, I actually don't know what Bone 7's win rate is, but whenever they pick Centaur, it feels like they always suffer as a team completely.
Yeah.
Is Centaur? I mean, and I guess Return should be decent against Spiderlings here.
Centaur is pretty good. Usually it's not so good because of a good Broodmother player will buy the Soul Ring, start nuking you down,
Yeah,
and you have
just
to
nuke
spend
you instead of making Spiderlings.
Yeah, have to spend most of the time regioning with Shanks. But if you have an Omni Knight and you farm those Spiderlings and you just go your Vanguard or Hood instead, that's when Centaur counters Brood very hard. And also Lycan.
All right.
So I hope that he's going to go that route, not the Dagger route. We'll see. Although the Dagger Centaur with Omni Knight is a very potent combo also.
10 seconds
But we'll see here if the Broodmother will take over the game again. Because I think Vici are going to stick to their
5
normal
seconds
rotations.
remaining.
Last time they played Broodmother, they rotated to Broodmother lane early in the game, 3-4 minutes. Guarantee the tower. Broodmother takes over the whole forest, and C9 can't really easily contest it if the Broodmother player knows how to play. Like, he's going to scout everything and all that good stuff. It's going to be a lot of pressure being put on C9 by these minions and tower damage.
Well, I guess later on, if they manage to farm like a Battle Fury on the PA, they have pretty good tools to deal with the Broodmother as well as a Lycan on paper.
The thing is, you want to have as many tools against Broodmother as possible. If you only have that one tool, a team with Broodmother...
And it's a tool that requires a lot of time to get as well.
Yeah. If you get more tools, more and more tools, Broodmother games becomes worse and worse. But I think they need the daggers, but at the same time they want to build their tools up to deal with these minions. But yeah.
So are you favoring Vici now, just looking at the overall draft?
I think if Vici play their game like they've been past 2 days, I think they're in good shape.
What the?
Oh wow, Bone 7 actually TPing to get some good vision out. This just tells me that he really wants this level 2, and he understands that supports will most likely rotate, and he wants to probably get vision of when they decide to rotate, so that the team can play accordingly.
It was one of the things I noticed in one of your games against Vici is it feels like they're off the map so much, these supports. Just in general, it seems like it's very difficult to know where they are.
Fenrir pinging out the medium camp, thinking that that's the one going to get blocked, doing it again, because that's what Bone 7 usually does. He runs straight down there with his boots, places a ward to block the medium camp, but he made the magic bush block now. And if Vici runs straight, there's no way that realistically he gets it, because no one does this or hasn't done it in so long, buying a TP to place a ward.
Yeah, it's like the TP to Roche type tactics.
I mean,
but
but
at least with that, you can see it from the draft.
They'll know at 30 seconds though, and it's. I mean, unless he put 2 wards out, which is.
Yeah, they'll know if they scout the big camp. They sometimes buy sentries. Okay, they have 1 sentry for the Brood. I don't think he's going to necessarily spend it on blocking a camp. He's probably going to spend it on the sentry they're going to spend
just
on him.
Just to de-ward the
And he
sentry
has a
for him.
ward for scouting either support rotations or pulls. What Broodmother players really likes to do is be able to creep skip and build up an army and be able to take this creep wave down. So the creep wave coming from your lane is going to tank the tower, while the Broodlings is going to kill off whatever support or hero dares to stand there.
Well, let's see. We're getting underway now, guys. It's game 1 of the grand finals of the Summit 2. Vici Gaming on the Radiant, Cloud9 the Dire. It is a best-of-5 format. And here we go. The rune spawn. FY gonna collect
So
the
smart
regen.
regeneration rune.
Oh my.
I think Bone 7 has to step up his play. He has been this entire tournament, but I feel like if Bat Rider doesn't really get anything out of the off lane and he has to jungle, it's just going to be a really difficult game because they have to deal with the Lycan and the Brood, and I don't.
And
really
they're
think-
pushing separate sides of the map. Plus, the Jakiro is going to be
I
pushing
don't
hard
really
as
think
well.
they have the heroes to deal with that early.
I really like their choice of putting Fata on. Yeah, we didn't actually call out the lineups, but Fata playing the Centaur, I think that's a very good call. I think Fata plays an amazing Centaur. He's actually been one of the best Centaurs I've seen. Generally, really good player, and this lane actually can stop a Broodmother to a certain extent.
Stun, stomp, double edge. If you get the whole combination.
Look at that howl forcing him out of the web. That's actually really, really important that he didn't skill the stun now.
That's pretty cool. So what are our other lanes here? In the mid lane, we're going to have a Lycan up against the PA. What's up?
I called the PA mid. I think they needed to do it.
Oh, okay.
But did they find the word they're looking for? They only had that 1 sentry to spend, you
and
know?
is he just out of range?
He's
What's
just
he
out of
looking for?
range, and
my,
they thought
how
it was on
sad.
the medium camp. Or no, they thought it was on the small camp, but
Yeah.
they didn't check the big camp if it spawned or not. But
Sad. Very sad, as our observer is rightfully pointing out.
it's a level 2 Omni Knight, actually. Bat Rider going straight to do the stacking, giving Omni Knight the experience.
Well, they're getting a lot right now. Jungling. I think he did get some golem spawns, so not the ideal camps, but still getting some levels off in the jungle. So, oh man, double golems.
yeah,
How
yeah.
sad is he now?
The Howl is going to help a lot if he chooses to invest it. It helps a lot.
Yeah,
Vengeful will
is
probably
ready
get
to
it
help.
low for him.
Oh, he also burned the high ground too, so he can do the
Yeah,
little quelling
few
braid or
tricks.
trick.
Vici Gaming, for now, are getting good farm on their Lycan to match that of the PA. The Broodmother yet to CS, but might find some openings with that Observer Ward. Ice should know that he's relatively free. It looks like mid lane, heroes are rotating towards.
Does
You're
Pi have
like it.
another sentry on him, or Dust?
I think he
No.
had 2
Oh no, the
sentries,
bench.
so
the
he has
bench.
Does he have one more?
Yeah, he has 1 more on him, but ISSI spending his sentry. If they want to, they can get that nice anti-miss for the Broodmother and
No.
deny the
And
sentry.
it looks like they want to dive this Omni
Something
Knight
is
bottom
going on
lane.
bottom.
They're scouting for AUI. They are going to get eyes on him, but not the easiest kill here. Fenrir only level 1.
wait, this is actually... oh, sorry, this is actually Fenrir. I thought it was Fenrir Jakiro. This is actually Fenrir Titan. I've never seen that before. Last time it was FI playing it, I believe.
They actually
had a
normally.
support.
Oh, really? Because prior to that, they normally would run it as Ice here.
No, they always do it as ice, but
Yeah.
the few times I did see it on support, or the one time I think. or
They
maybe it
must
was
have been watching
Kur-
some of your replays. Then,
Kuro
'cause-
told me. But yeah, it was FY playing it, not Fenrir, so that's interesting.
Okay.
I feel like the support Titan has a lot to do with getting the feel of mana usage, when you can and can't use the mana. Because an offlane Titan has a bit more leverage. You can even afford to go to Midas.
This is a very early tier 1 Vici Gaming's looking to take.
Vici loves to do this early first move. Usually a tower, sometimes a smoke.
So what goes into that like decision-making process? When do you want to get this first tower versus like when is it a bad idea? Well, hold that thought. They're going to get a nice path to start. They drop AUI backwards. Don't think they could have gotten him anyway. No stomp skilled up yet. Just
Ice
secured it
path
for
was
Fenrir.
wasted anyway. There was pretty much no chance for on killing him.
But they do
just
get the
wanted
tower.
the tower lasted, guaranteed. I think the times Vici usually look at this tower is when the offlaner is something like a Doom, something really weak that will usually go Forest, even the Batrider. This time the Batrider went Forest straight away, so it was just an offlane Omni, just as weak as a Doom pretty much. Even weaker at stalling a tower push.
They have so many stacks for Bone, too. Even with that double golem spawn, he's still doing really well.
Yeah, sometimes against some teams you actually just want to give this one tower away. You give them what they really want, but you just make up a strategy to get what you want instead. And this is what C9 wants instead.
Yeah, like you pointed out, Ben, he still has cleared out at least 2 or 3 other camps in each of those. So getting quite a bit of gold and experience and giving a bit to the Venge as well. Eternal Envy also CSing reasonably well mid, but you do see your Lycan start to pull ahead a bit black.
Is it worth putting that sentry in mid? I mean, what is it gonna see? Invis, wolves, and
They want the PA to kill off the wolves. It's actually something I thought of doing as well. Is when you put the PA mid, the Stifling Dagger pure damage can actually deal with wolves, and it gives the Lycan's laning phase mid a lot. So Vici not only did the first move on the bottom tower, now they're doing the first smoke move also, trying to look out the Batrider, potentially steal creep kills. Oh, wow.
Oh, they scouted his stack.
Stack. How can you stack it so much? That's actually.
Can they? They have Jakiro actually.
Oh,
This is
they're
something
gonna
they
get
could look
Pilot
to
die
steal.
maybe. Yeah, he's gonna walk uphill. Fenrir gonna see him. Yep.
And the Lycan on the move. He's looking to rotate in for this kill, and it's going to be a first blow. Get him! Get him! Got him. Black gets the first blood. Your Lycan looking to snowball. 1,600 gold banked. With
Are
the
they not
Bassi
gonna contest the
bottle.
stack at all? They scouted it out.
I don't think they can.
Well, they can jack XP probably. I guess
Yeah, they
it's-
can jack XP, but if they start staying in the neighborhood, it's just gonna be one napalm into Stifling Dagger and a support dice. They just took first
What is
blood.
that? A quintuple stack?
No, this is
I
like
think it's
yeah,
five
yeah,
set.
no, that's quintuple, I think. Yeah.
I
Two.
think
I
that's
see
5.
2 red Ursas, 1 Satyr, 1 Nether, and 1
Wild
Wilderkin.
Yeah, it's 5.
No, did I see 2 Satyrs? Wow, that's so many.
5 or 6. That's I've never seen it stack that big.
That looked unrealistically huge. That's his dagger for sure, and huge amount of experience.
Well, the gods.
Oh,
of
look at
Dota.
that. Are they gonna have TP's bottom? Oh, just the Omni Knight. They're gonna go for this kill.
Super throws out the ice path, but still being pursued quite heavily. Another dagger, and Cloud9 get back on the board here. AOI 2000.
Nice
Poning
double
him.
damage movement from Envy.
Envy likes to rotate a lot early.
Envy has been
Did-
playing
did
really
they have
good
a ward
Dota
on
this
bottom?
tournament. If they had a ward, they had a ward, but you know the PA.
Oh, the PA blur.
The PA blur. It's actually every team struggles with this, and oh, nice.
That was close.
That was 1 Rubik hit away. That's his dagger. They're not gonna.
Wow, 7-minute dagger.
He wants to suicide to neutrals by the looks of it.
Just get the quick rotation back to base. Eternal Envy finding another kill here as they'll slice up FY's Rubik, and he's starting to snowball a bit.
That blur is ridiculous, though.
Yeah, it is. Oh wow, Envy.
There's no ultimate. Remember, Black used it earlier when he went for that kill. Looks to retreat out the stomp. Tries to turn this, but with evasion, he's not an easy takedown. They'll lift him up, toss him back. Still going to work. He's going to look for the man fight. Does not come out the winner, though.
Learn to crit.
What a noob.
One thing I wanted to mention before, when they had the opportunity to give the first blood to the Titan, I think that's the much wiser choice than
Rather
to
than the
give it to
Lycan.
the Lycan.
Yeah.
Yes. The only other way I would argue is if this sends the Lycan into the forest much earlier, and Titan takes the CS and lane over from earlier on, because I just feel like getting the kills off the Titan and having the stronger lanes on hero is still the better option. But I always try to take the first blood on Titan, or any kill on Titan, early game.
So what about this Broodmother so far? Do you feel like it's doing enough? Is the pick working out for Vici, or...?
I actually think the Centaur idea that they have going, actually want to also look at... Oh, Pilot die. Gonna do what he does best.
That medallion already picked up with the natural order. Quick, easy kill.
He has Battalion Vlad already. It's pretty darn quick.
Maybe looking for the early Roche sneak here.
Does Bone have his blink?
Yes.
Yeah, he had it 6.5 minutes.
Oh, they got a jump on Super. Did he last to a creep? I'm not sure if he last to a creep.
Or maybe we
Regardless, they
just
get the
got
kill.
there late, not sure. But guess it doesn't matter. Jakiro taken down by the Batman.
Really good kill. If this Batrider gets really fat, this stops a lot of the ideas that Lycan have of split pushing.
And the
Bone-
Broodmother as well, I suppose.
Yeah, and the Broodmother. A fat Batrider against a Broodmother is a really good tool. This gem and 4-step dagger is can be all you need actually to put an end to the Broodmother pain.
Back in the jungle, Fenrir trying to get his stacks going for the team. I still yet to take down
He
the
went
tier
to
1.
Vanguard. I love Fata. This is what he needed to do.
Oh, the early Vanguard.
Yes, so many minions in this game, and
So you turn this into a Crimson Guard, you think?
at one point for sure. If you can get Crimson Guard for your team, this whole Lycan against a Phantom Assassin with the Crimson Guard buff is actually
gonna
going to be
fall apart.
useless.
Yeah.
It's very useless. Even Avengeful Spirit is going to get twice as hard to kill for Broodmother.
Ice does try to take over the Cloud9 jungle a bit here, but
He hasn't gotten the tower though, so it's not the same effect.
yeah, they can just kind of surround him, and they're going to look to do it. Throwing out the Wave of Terror. Now they dust him.
Oh,
trying
they need to hit
trap
him. They
in.
need to hit him.
He's able to path right through the trees, not taking any damage. They'll stampede. Chasing a bit further, he heads to the north. Then he loses the
Damage
wave. He
him!
gets
There
stopped.
we go.
Ah, now he's done for.
Good
Rest in
stuff from
peace.
Fata.
I thought the dust had ran out by then. It was really close.
He almost made it out, just barely unable to. As the Spiderlings are trying to track down the Venge. I think she just made it out safely. But they chase onto Eternal Envy.
I mean, Ice really hasn't got that much farm at all. Paya hasn't really spent that much time zoning him out either.
I think
He's
the
been
last
just
two is
stacking the
up,
jungle.
and Bone 7 is looking to jump on mid. If I don't think he's spent any mana yet. So if Bone 7 gets in a good position right here, this could be another. Like even if Vici get the tower, this could be the trade-off that C9 needs to stay in the game, or to even get ahead of the game. Yep, Bone 7. I think he's looking at the mid.
Looking for a different angle. He's wrapping around to the south, and in the meantime, Brew just CSing. And they will smoke. They will throw out the repel. No real solution for this initiation. Can't get your Rubik lift off against that.
I don't think that Stifting Dagger was a good idea. Any good team would probably have.
Oh,
Oh!
it fails. Then they turn it. The repel is worn off, and now they get off an ice path onto boat 7. He just gets slaughtered by Black. A
Stole
costly
repel.
overextension.
That's a repelled Rubik
And that's
level
a max
4
repel, too.
on
Oh
a
my.
Lycan ultimate. Oof.
This could get ugly real quickly for Cloud9. And remember, if any space opens up, they have to bring Fada in. Then Ice will get his openings in this top lane. The mid tower crumbles, and
He's going. You had to use that word, didn't you?
Radiant's bottom tower is
He's going straight top though, Envy. I think he was looking for a kill with Fata on Ice.
I think I
Really-
use that word like 10 times as much when I'm casting Cloud9. It's just too good, man.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, it does feel very tenuous, though,
Oh,
for
that's
Cloud9.
gonna be a smoke into Roshan.
They have Vlad's Medallion, Liquid Fire. This is going to be very quick.
They really need to keep the pressure up with Batrider. Like, as soon as they don't have to worry about him, like if they have Repel to counter his Initiate, then things get much, much tougher for C9.
I mean, actually, both Super and FI can get knocked on the hill. Not Super anymore, but they can. You know, this old alliance when you played against their Batrider
Or
Roshan against them.
Ake with the Blinding Lights.
or Rocket with Blinding Light. Oh,
What a
nice
cheeky
use
bugger.
on Envy.
They catch out Eternal Envy here. Ice Path, Macro Pyre, Fire and Ice, and it's a sad song for him as he will fall. The PA dies, and the Aegis goes the way of Vici. Cloud9 had a really solid start, but it's starting to look
12.
slippier and slippier.
Just 12. Well, that was more than Vici was asking for. They got a kill on their core PA and a Roshan. Just for
Yeah, that was
smoke.
just a freebie.
Yep.
Uh-oh. And now Pilot Die could be next. Ice working out. Doesn't really have another web. Can he spawn one? Doesn't look like it. Or at least not choosing to. Just gets it now. He's going to begin the dive. But just trying to open up the map a bit while his team farms elsewhere.
The whole of Vici is moving top though. Black falling a bit behind, and Fenrir making sure that the bottom tower won't fall too fast. But one thing the Broodmother pick did do this game was it kept the Centaur top. It makes the game more like a 4v4 this way. Stampede is a global effect, of course, but they still want to be able to deal with the Broodmother, and Centaur can join the rest of the team. But when you have more tools to actually deal with them, then the Centaur could join and, say, a support Tidehunter or whatever it could be. If you had a support Sand King, he could deal with the Broodmother while this core joins the game. Then you have a support for a core trade-off in this lane. So, in a way, the Broodmother is doing its job, but that's only because the other 4 Vici are doing the right calls and the right movement, and it had something to do with Bone 7 also flunking that jump on mid. If you would have jumped Black with the repel in time and the Yules wouldn't have hit, it could have been an entirely different game by now.
Yeah, and that, of course, led to Roshan. It was connected to the PA kill as well.
Yeah, they went in when Repel was
I
like
think,
2 seconds away.
I think the goal graph started actually as soon as Bone 7 died.
It just jumped right up. The Midas now picked up by Ice Ice Ice. He'll look to accelerate his farm here, and Vici Gaming, they'll take a tier 2 as well on the back of this. This will be their 4th tower of the game. Cloud9 yet to take a single. That's 4 towers and a Roche advantage, as well as a 1-kill lead. This is starting to tip their way pretty heavily.
Look at Bone 7's levels and items. You pretty much had this 8 minutes into the game after he was done clearing the stacks.
I think it's really bad that they took down the 2 top towers too. Centaur can't really stay there alone anymore.
It's so good for Broodmother as well. Broodmother just has a new homeland there.
Yeah, you saw him trying to take over the forest without having taken the towers,
Yeah.
and they actually just walked in there, surrounded him, and got a kill off of him.
Gonna be tougher to do that now.
Yeah.
Black begins the siege. He still has his Aegis for some time, up to 3,600. They get off a stomp on EE. Not interested in engaging, and here comes your Repel Bomb. This Bone 7 jumps directly onto Super. Will pull that Jakiro back. Stomp to follow it up. Blown up by the PA as well as the Omni Knight. And at the same time, they chase over on top of Fenrir. Gets off a stomp of his own. That magic sticked up. Looks like he should still fall, though Omni Knight GA tried to preserve the entire squad. They had actually managed to take down 3 as the Rubik also died. Ice 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 scattering to the north. The Lycan to the south, but a great hold there from C9.
Beautiful play by Bone 7. A good Batrider player is always looking at some heroes. He's not looking at the Lycan hitting the tower. He's looking at where the Jakiro could be, because this is the optimal jump target. If Jakiro would have stayed back and potentially used the PA jumping in, and they would have traded, I don't know, maybe the Rubik, or you saw even Broodmother joining the fight, but then they would have killed off the PA, and Lycan would have still been able to fight this way. But instead, they jumped the best target, I think, for them, since Lycan still had Jaegers.
By the way, I want to point out Bone 7 has been doing this pretty much all game. Well, not all game, but for several minutes. He was here earlier just farming the Radiant big camps. They love to just take away your jungle. And he's probably the most aggressive Batrider player I've seen in terms of doing that. Like, he'll take big risks just to try and steal those camps.
I think more and more Batrider players started doing it, but Bone 7 was kind of leading the way for that kind of play, especially for the off lane. When you lane against him in the laning phase, he doesn't mind level 2 going into your woods and trying to take like 2 camps away from you.
Yeah, it does add up. You know, it doesn't seem like a big deal at first, but
It's like you say, it's your forest. It's called your forest for a reason, because you want to be the one farming it.
absolutely. Black working on Eternal Envy. They get the Yule's Ice Path initiation. Bone 7 in a bit of trouble. He has a Force Staff already, though. Baits out the Black. Oh, actually lassos a Wolf. Oh, no. Oh, Bone. Just when we were starting to sing his praises, and Rubik stole Stampede in the midst of this. FY getting a big spell for his squad.
Shouldn't they always be repelling either Centaur or Batrider and just going for Initiate so they can get a guaranteed kill? If they repel PA, they just go on one of the Initiators that are just so vulnerable without repel.
Usually when they run the Omni Batrider, they always try to use the spells, like the repel on Batrider and the heal on whatever, pretty much, just for the damage. But I agree. I think it's the wisest choice is to repel one of the two.
Oh, another every mistake just so costly when you're up against the Lycan, Jakiro, Broodmother. You make one mistake. Like, you look at Cloud9, they got 3 kills before.
No.
Still haven't taken a tower. Now they steal the ancient stacks. They take a tier 2 mid. They farm out the enemy jungle with Ice Ice Ice. Each mistake for Cloud9 way more expensive than those from Vici. They will look to turn this now, though. They want to protect the ancients. Cloud9 says, give us our gold.
Oh, Bone 7, what are you doing?
And he's trying to Firefly steal these ancients.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Well, didn't see a good opening to go in, I guess, and just ends up taking a lot of damage. Now Eternal Envy blinks in. Very aggressive with that repel.
You
For
do
now,
have
he's
to
okay.
make something happen here. I would feel the same if I was them. If Vici just took your whole map and they're taking your ancient stack, well, they actually do decide
But
to
look
back
at what's
off.
happening top.
Yeah.
Brood Mama in your base.
That's how. Look at that red dot. You don't know you don't know how many spiders are there.
It's
Like,
just
that's
a
the
blob
thing.
of green.
Oh, Broodmother Lycan. I never thought I'd see it again.
Such a frustrating hero to play against, the Brood.
It's another hero with Lycan. It's just a whole
Yeah.
nother thing.
Yeah, we've seen
God.
like an Enigma a
They're
fair
doing
amount.
double Necrobook also.
Well, I guess if you're repelled, you don't take that less will damage, right? So, but that's assuming you can actually kill those things before you get killed.
I'm just worried about the buildings melting away for C9 right now.
Radiant's
They're
Yeah,
trying
they
to.
can, they can take team fights, but they're like unless they get really clean engages every single time, they're gonna lose something in the process. And right now, when Vici has the Aegis and Lycan's up in front bullying everybody out, they can't really get any kills.
Vada. Nowhere is safe. Medallion's there. Thrown up in the air. Tossed back down. And they will delete the Centaur, who has no buyback for 50 seconds. Oh my.
They are definitely going
This
to try
could be
to
Rax.
force a buyback. Yeah.
Well, when they don't see a buyback, I wonder if they just say, you know what? Let's just do it.
I think
Break the space.
I think they will go for this, and I don't think C9. Oh wow, look at the amount of spiders.
They can be somewhat cleaned up by the Bat Rider here, but still Vici Gaming doing pretty severe damage to this building. They'll get more liquid fire flowing. Still 20 seconds and counting. It looks like the tier 3 will be theirs. Do they go for more? That would be riskier. Let's see if they want to stick around. The Necrominions fleeing the scene of the crime. But still, they stick around. And now this could end up
Envy.
hurting them as Eternal Envy goes in directly to that point, then tries to TP out in the middle of the entire enemy team. He will make it out successfully, but that means Bone 7 is left to his own devices. He's healed. He's 4-step backwards. Oh, Envy playing with
That
fire
was
there.
a beautiful defense actually from.
And then he kills...
Why?
I've seen this before. I think it was Twilight. What are the chances of a wave of terror killing the Necro Creep? Wasn't that him that it happened to before?
Oh god. I mean, I haven't seen that before, but
Oh,
man, I
man.
did.
Well, the
That
Summit
was-
2. You see it all.
That was actually I hadn't no believe in C9 like being able to defend those Rexes, but they actually just defended them. And now Enemy got his Battle Fury. If he does any more cube plays like that, you know, they can bounce back from this because the net worth on Vici is getting quite big, and all it takes is Vici doing some more wrong moves and some maybe wrong item choices. Because you saw what PA just did. 800 HP. Sure, he had repel, but he daggered in and TP'd out. That's the 50% evasion right there.
So, main ways to counter that are get a Hex, but there might be Repel, so then you need a Diffusal Blade.
Well, he still doesn't have any armor either,
Yeah.
though.
I think it's about, yeah, he didn't have armor either. Blinking into a Titan and all that, still survived. I think there's like an...
There's your Diffusal Blade.
Oh wow, actually, just picking up Diffusal. Well,
Do they have a... No Lincoln Sphere in
No,
sight, I don't believe.
I don't think they're anywhere near.
Could be problematic. Haltingly, they'll make their way down the top lane. At the same time, though, we see Vici Gaming looking for a bit of a trap. Should they take a convincing...
Oh, it's black.
It just bothers him when his Ancients are being farmed, you know? They'll Stampede him out to safety. But he will stick around to farm. With Stampede down, has to be cautious. One more creep and he'd be dead. Not gonna fall for it, though. But guys, we're about to see Roshan number 2 respawn, and Vici Gaming have all the lanes fairly pushed in. Everyone alive for Cloud9 right now, but you know they've got to have eyes on it.
Yeah, Centaur going for the Shiva's Guard, and I think if you would finish Crimson Guard also, they could actually make some cool moves.
Yeah, they have so many good defensive cooldowns. Stampede for one, Repel GA for another.
Swap.
Swap, and Crimson Guard too. It's a lot of ways of defense versus Necro Minions.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, none of those work on buildings. That'll be the question. Is can't force staff them unless you get the Aghanims on the Omni Knight, but that's a long way off, I imagine.
So
Yeah.
Black chooses to go hard. I still think, personally, I would have done the MKB. For the sake that you're going to make it at one point. And when you're this far ahead, getting the damage, I feel, is still a safer choice than getting the HP. Even though it might sound stupid, but I think this is more likely to lose you the game than getting the MKB right now.
Yeah, if you get MKB, if you get an MKB, you already have a Diffusal Blade, so you can't count on the PA being repelled or GA'd. You purge, you right-click her with one stun, she's probably dead. Unless they get the swap off. That would be the
Or
other way to
pretty
save her at
much
that
just
point.
2 right clicks with a Titan Spirit on top of her.
That's true.
Kill her.
Well, for now, they are starting to close in on Bone 7, but can't quite get in range of
Oh,
time.
he
he
cancels
canceled the
DP.
TP.
They wanna go on
They
ice
want to
ice.
turn this one. He gets lassoed. Caught out of quite a bit. The Rubik joining the fight as well. Throws out the toss. He'll stun 2 heroes in the process, but not good enough. They still get the
Vici
kill.
moved top.
The Spider Lanes, man, look at he's just being pursued into the trees. Everybody heads for the hills. They get off the Yules. Not going to allow the PA of Eternal Envy to escape. Gets completely slaughtered by FY. And Pi trapped in the trees. Not sure if he even has a TP scroll. Uh-oh. Vici Gaming gearing up for another push.
No, he's going to do the courier move again, but the courier is being used. Or no, he TP'd out. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, he did TP.
Yeah, we just missed it. Oh, boy.
No buyback on PA. 35 seconds. This time, no tier 3 either. No lasso available. No stampede available. Vici Gaming, again, looking to break through these Cloud9 defenses. That's a range Rax. They look for the melee, and it seems they might have their way with that as well.
Yeah, right now they just don't have any damage aside from lasso and all Bat Rider's damage, which they've been relying on for, I think, a little bit too long now. They really need Centaur or PA to come in and do some damage.
Or a really lucky crit, but to be honest, I don't think I've seen Eternal Envy crit a hero yet.
I mean, we can't really underestimate the damage of Centauri. It's not really online yet, but I personally, on the safe lane Centaur, especially if you go Vanguard, I do like the treads more because the way they changed the, when he
The
got
return damage.
When he got Stampede, he also got half the old ultimate in stats gain.
Yeah.
So getting treads actually scales really nicely, and once you get the Crimson Guard and Heart and all that, then the return damage actually becomes really real together with the right clicks.
Really real.
Really real. Real talk. Real return.
Everything is so real right now.
Super real.
Here comes Cloud9. Smoked up.
Oh,
they
they
got
can
the
find ice
lanes
here. Oh.
reasonably pushed out. Unfortunately, though, it looks like Vici Gaming is just one step ahead of them. Already rotated towards their own Ancients. They do have the Broodmother
Look
all
at
the way
ice.
bottom.
He knows something's up.
He's just playing so defensively right now, way down in those southern trees. And, well, not in a web, though. He's frantically pinning himself. They're coming for me, guys. I know I'm getting ganked. I know. And he's right. He is.
When you see 3 lanes being pushed so close to the tower, but nobody's defending,
Yeah,
that, that's just an obvious move.
Huh. Bone 7 with their arcane boots pick up.
What?
That's very unusual.
Yeah, he ran out of mana on that top defense before, so he might have been a bit traumatized from that. Decided.
Well, he actually
Never
doesn't have a
again.
bottle or a stick, which normally we see at least one
Yeah,
on the
that's
deck.
true. Aegis still unlike him for quite some time.
Clock's ticking. Black is just munching through this tower. That'll be another tier 3. Vici Gaming.
Look, oh,
They get this lasso initiation onto Black. He's pulled to the tier 4 towers. Will the team come in to help him? This stomp could help save him, as they will, for now, have to deal with the aftermath of that initiation. Nice ice pad, allowing Black to get out into the big wolf form. He runs back to the safety of his team. They bring down a melee Rax. They're focusing on the range Rax. Objective gaming from Vici. Not really going for kills, though. As I say that, they turn their attention to heroes. They bring down quite a few. Envy, where's the crits, man? Where's the crits? He just can't get one. Finally, will manage to snag a kill there. The Elder Titan Rubik are dead. They've lost an Omni Knight exchange, but more importantly, it's all about the Lycan and the Rax. And right now, the Lycan's winning. Takes down the melee, takes down the range, kills off EE, has buyback, not even bothering to use it. This looks to be the end.
Envy doesn't have enough damage. He spent like 8 out of his 10 seconds with Repel and GA just trying to kill a Rubik.
yeah. You see the Q play from Super in the end there? As soon as Envy Blink Striked him, he diffused the Blink Strike buff away. So he only got 1 hit when he could have gotten 5. That's something I've never seen before. But I think C9 did the right move to swap Black in, or lasso him in, sorry. Oh, they're still going to go for this.
They
And
are
he popped
chasing
back.
Black, and his ultimate, I believe, currently on quote on stop. Now Double Edge gets
Oh,
thrashed,
there's the
but
crit.
well, it's a nice kill for sure. Yet it's been a costly decimation of that dire base. Can they come back?
It's the 2 racks down.
2 lanes of Rax.
I
yeah.
don't think realistically they come back from this. It has to be Vici doing a lot of major fuck-ups. But basically, if C9 wants to take fights, I think they have to do them far away from their objectives. Keep all the creeps outside the base.
Go
Of
for some
course,
deep smokes and stuff like
deep
that.
smokes, but they can't do more than 2-man smokes, I feel. They have to be 3 people pushing out lanes. PA might not even have to join the smoke because of the blur. He's just going to hit a creep wave and stay in the trees.
Because otherwise, it's just too obvious.
It's never gonna
basically.
work. But
Yeah.
then they catch a Lycan, put him on the hill. I don't even think Vici has a 4-stab unless it's on Rubik. Nope. So if they put a Lycan on the hill, maybe Fenrir went for
No,
one?
he went for
No
Yules.
4-stab. You know, they have to go for some weird plays. And 2-man smokes, fighting outside the base. I think that's their best chance.
Well, let's see if they're able to find any. For now, Eternal Envy does still looking for their first tower, I believe. Oh, they got the tier 1 bottom, their second tower. But yeah, it's normally Cloud9. Even if they're losing, they're getting your tower some way. But this lineup just doesn't really do that as effectively. No Drow Visage, no Lycan, no Terrorblade, and as a result, Vici Gaming maintain their map control here. Maybe gets the second one now. Will be healed. The glyph comes out the last moment, but they're not going to contest this. Instead, they rotate towards the Dire Ancients and potentially towards that Roshan pit. I don't think he's respawnable yet. Hasn't been long enough. They're going on mid now. They'll jump in. They'll munch down the Vengeful Spirit. Pylai will fall. He's got buyback. And they are pinning out bottom lane.
Yeah, level 4 Heart of Terror stolen. That's a really big deal. Because now they actually do have the Elder Titan Vengeful combination that a lot of people look for. And they just got it with a Rubik.
Eternal
Basher,
Envy not saving for
Vengeful buys back.
buyback here. Not going for any safe defensive items. Just straight for aggression.
Oh boy.
He wants to bash. Really get lucky. Lycan now morphing into the big bad werewolf. He'll engage here. And Black actually gets critted, takes a decent amount of damage, but he just runs away, tries to wait out this BKB, still being focused. They lasso, wrangle down the wolf. Still the Rax under siege. They have not killed off that final melee. An Ice Path comes through. Good damage done by Super. Overall, Cloud9 holding their own here in this fight, but buildings are still melting. The bash, the crit. See ya, Elder Titan. He goes down. I believe that was another bash there after the Yule Scepter. As Ice says,
Oh
you
my
know
God,
what? I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. He can't get it. Oh, the Rex down to 50 HP. What a hold by C9.
Pylai dies, Effigy even dies.
How poetic. Oh, man.
Wow. I can't believe that everyone from Vici were just throwing their bodies to get this Rex. Even I just tried to move in there. It's like, guys, it's so close.
Take me now.
Oh, wow. Well, they have to do that.
They just got a refresher on Bat, a gem on the Omni.
They actually did that. They can pull the Lycan into Fountain now, but the problem is still the minions hitting the Rexes. You can't.
So that's why you got the Hurricanes, I guess.
Oh, for refresher. I mean, I guess it's that. Also, maybe Necro Book, but no, it's mainly that. You're right. Straight into refresher.
It's still looking very dicey for C9 here. Tier 2s are standing. They're down to 1 melee Rex, which looks like it's going to die soon. Can they win a game up against Mega Creeps? That would be remarkable.
They just can't keep all 3 lanes pushed out, though.
If they keep like the regular creep, regular Mega Creeps for another 30 minutes, their lineup can definitely do it. Centaur and PA are 2 really good heroes. And oh wow, Ice, no bash, come on Envy. No, that was...
Oh, they did manage to pop a dust here, but the Broodmother looks like she was out of range, retreats, and now Envy's overextended, stomped, lifted up, tossed back down. BKBs, don't think he has mana for a TP scroll, so he just has to walk his way out of here. Oh, Envy, this is a costly death. I think he'll have the buyback. He gets 1 crit, almost burns down 2 heroes, but gets nothing in the end. Actually doesn't have it. 90 seconds, no Envy. That might just be GG.
Yeah.
Roche is respawning, but screw that. Go for buildings.
No, I think this probably means the loss of the game, but let's see. C9 has defended Raxus over and over again. This time with
let's
4
not
heroes.
count them out just yet. Lasso number 1 deployed onto Black. They're going to refresh it here and go for Lasso number 2. He is focused and surrounded, but Ice will make it Mega Creeps here. He brings down the final Rax. Still, they've lost the Lycan. GA comes out. But it's the Macropyre Super doing tons of work in the Jakira. And GG, Vici Gaming continue their success from yesterday, off to a hot 1-0 start here in the best of 5.
It didn't really seem like the Centaur was that effective at actually killing the Brood, though. Sure, he got a lot of farm, but I thought it was a pretty good theory-crafted answer, but in practice it just didn't seem to do that much. He even got really limited on farm. He was like half Centaur's net worth.
I think if you're able to defend that tower, push the lane down, where's the Brew gonna go? What he did in this game was he went into the forest and they actually found him and killed him. But what happens once you lose that tower is the entire top area is just open for him.
So it was mostly like maybe they
I
didn't
think
have
it's-
anyone that can push a tower.
They didn't have anyone that could push the tower, and they needed to get that tower so they could keep pushing the lane further and further down. Because you know Broodmother will follow the creeps. He wants to do the spiderlings, push it out. If you start skipping creeps, then you can still get him there. But
That's what people say to Broodmother counter is to push her lane.
yeah, that is pretty much it. And the more heroes you have to deal with her, the harder it is to play Broodmother.
And they didn't really have one great hero. Like Centaur, pretty good.
Yeah.
They didn't have like a Sand King, for
No.
example, or
No
maybe a
Sand King,
Darkseer.
No Axe,
Yeah.
no Darkseer.
Well, with that said, that's game 1 in the books. If you're C9, how do you kind of regroup after this game? Do you just say it was just a pocket brood pick that surprised us, or do you think there's some issues with execution they need to work on?
I mean, they're gonna adjust. The adjustment they need to do is with their Omni Knight Batrider, they need to watch out for this kind of push. They know Vici run Terrorblade, and they run it in a very similar style like this. They're gonna take your tower early. They're gonna keep taking every objective they can from every slip up you do. C9 had one way to win this game, and that was to get the jumps at the early towers correctly. Batrider can't jump in and miss the jump. If
Yeah,
he
that
does
first lasso gank
that,
mid.
if he does that, it's tower, Roshan, next tower, everything map melting.
They lost all momentum off that one failed gank.
And then you saw the flip side. Vici Gaming, they lost 3 heroes at the Dire Tier 2. They didn't lose a single tower. They didn't lose a Roshan off of that. Then the next time they got like 1 kill, another tower, Roshan, Envy kill.
But it's hard to say. I feel like if C9 they have a lineup like this, they just have to never fuck up, but they actually have a superior lineup this way. If they play it 100%
perfect, yeah.
correctly. This lineup that Vici have against a lineup like C9 has is very easy to capitalize on mistakes. It's just very easy. Broodmother Lycan, I actually don't know. I hope it doesn't become a thing. But this just everything melted, you know. All objectives are just gone.
Well, buildings are burning in game, and C9, they are going to have to bounce back from this one. They trail 0-1 in the best of 5 grand finals, guys. We're going to go to a quick break here, but before we do, I wanted to let you all know about a giveaway. Corsair Gaming is giving away peripherals, headsets. You've got the mouse here as well, the Saber Laser RGB. My personal favorite, the keyboard, the K70 mechanical keyboard. And then, of course, we've got a mouse pad, the MM600. So really nice peripherals. If you're interested in getting some, then go enter the giveaway today. You can see the link below. We'll have our mods posted in the stream chat. With that said, guys, thank you very much for watching the Summit 2. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we return for Game 2. Of course, also be sure to follow Big Daddy here. Is it Big Daddy n0tail on Twitter?
It's Big Daddy n0tail on Twitter.
And that's n0tail with a 0 for the O. So, of course,
Yeah.
Merlini Dota. Guys, stick around. We'll be right back for game number 2.